Hey everyone, what is going on? And welcome back to another meta guide. So the Summer Cup Ultra League edition begins tomorrow, and it's going to run alongside the Open Great League for another week. And the types that are going to be eligible is going to be normal, fire, water, grass, electric, and bug types. Nothing is going to be banned, but they qualify. These Pokemon are going to be in the Ultra League, of course, as already stated. So without further ado, let's go ahead and see what we got going on for us. So for the S rank, we have Pidgeot. Pidgeot is definitely going to dominate. It's a great flying type, going to do super well against a lot of the meta. It does have to watch out, of course, for the electric types that are going to be relevant, but it's looking really good against a couple of the fighters like Buzzwole and Virizion. So I think it's a great Pokemon. Obviously, I love Feather Dance. I love debuffing my opponent's Pokemon. So Pidgeot definitely ranked number one, definitely up there. You'll see a lot of Pidgeots for sure. Next up, well, we have a couple fighters. We do have that Virizion. I guess the moves with double kick pretty fast. It gets to that Sacred Sword. You could run Leaf Blade, but I would probably go Stone Edge just so you do have play against the flying types like Pidgeot or Zapdos, right? You'll have play against that. I do like that moveset. Leaf Blade, of course, going to do well against Swampert, but at the end of the day, you're still doing well against Swampert anyway. So I like that moveset, and Buzzwole is a great Pokemon with Lunge. It can debuff your opponent's Pokemon, right? So really, really powerful stuff. Really great counter user. Zapdos is an electric type that I think could do pretty well, or the Shadow Zapdos, probably the Shadow one. But, you know, I mean, Zapdos works well if you can get shields down, and then if shields are down, the Drill Peck, the Thunderbolt, going to be hitting like an absolute truck against a lot of Pokemon if you think about it. Of course, the flying types with that Thunderbolt, the fighting types with that Drill Peck. Just such a pretty solid Pokemon. Victini is another good one. The thing about Victini is you can only get one, and I would say a lot of trainers, well, I don't know who, but like if you're me, I kept mine for the Great League. I'll use it for Great League metas. So if you're like me and you have yours for the Great League, you can't have another one, at least not yet. So you might not have it. But if you do happen to have it for the Ultra League, if you built it for the Ultra League or you want to build it for the Ultra League, this is going to be a Pokemon that does pretty well with that quick attack, getting to the moves really fast. The fire damage, just going to do a lot. Yeah, I mean, you could run Psychic as one of the moves. A lot of times you do see double fire on it with V-Create and Overheat, but you could run like V-Create and Psychic if you want to hit those water types, like especially against Tentacruel, it's going to be super effective, right? But charging up to 2 V-Creates is really powerful. So for the A rank, we do have Miltank. So Miltank is a pretty interesting Pokemon. It does have Tackle. I would say relatively bulky. It's going to be able to spam out those body slam attacks, and I mean, obviously body slam spam, really, really strong in a lot of different metas with different Pokemon. It also has Ice Beam as another move as well. It also has Thunderbolt, so depending on your moveset. Then we have Tentacruel. I do not have enough XLs for Tentacruel. I really need to get enough XLs for Tentacruel because Tentacruel has been good in other Ultra Leagues metas as well. So I do want to build one for the Ultra League. I just don't have it, so I think it's worth it. Maybe if you have a lot of extra Tentacruels, you could trade them for guaranteed XLs with a friend or something, because Tentacruel is just such a really good Pokemon in general for the Ultra League. So especially ever since it got that Scold, right? Then we have Zekrom. Zekrom is an interesting pick. You do see Zekrom in the Open Master League. You don't see it much in Ultra League metas, but with that Dragon Breath, it's going to be doing well against, I mean, neutral damage against a lot of different things. I mean, not many Pokemon are going to resist it. You're going to have some, like Togedemaru is a Steel type, so that does resist Dragon Breath. But still, I mean, it's just such a really, really interesting Pokemon for the Ultra League. So I'm definitely excited to try out Zekrom myself. Then we have Double, another fighting. It's not a fighting type, but it's a fighting user with Double Kick. So another Double Kick Body Slam user getting to those moves fast. And of course, Wild Charge if you want to hit those flyers, or Payback. Payback will not debuff you, Wild Charge will. So it really depends on your moveset and your team, what you want to go with. And then Galvantula is another electric type that I think is going to do really well in this meta with the Lunge. Going to be able to debuff your opponent. I think Galvantula is a great lead. It's a great Pokemon in the back as well, but I think it's a great lead just because you could debuff whatever you're going up against. And yeah, going to do well against the water types, going to do well against the flying types. And you know, it has that bug type coverage. It's just overall just such a great Pokemon. Then we have Swampert. Oh, you all know Swampert. With the Mud Shot, with the Hydro Cannon, with the Earthquake, you all know Swampert. There's nothing to say. Swampert's been around since the dawn of time. No, it's been around since the beginning of Go Battle League. Since the preseason, Swampert has been good, right? And then moving on, we have the B-Rank. We actually have Rose Raid. So very interesting Rose Raid. Bullet Seed or Poison Jab. Both moves are pretty good. And then, of course, the Weather Ball. And then Leaf Storm or Grass Knot, it really depends. Leaf Storm is going to hit like an absolute truck. The thing about Rose Raid is it's pretty glassy. Not pretty glassy. It really, really is glassy. But still, you know, it's a good Pokemon to get shields with and all that. Then we have Charizard. Charizard looking really good in this meta. Just has to avoid, well, it has to avoid the water types and it has to avoid the electric types. But if shields are down, Charizard just does really well with that Blast Burn. It just is so good. It's so powerful, either the Charizard or the Shadow Charizard with that Wing Attack. You know, you have a 2 Legacy move Pokemon, Wing Attack and Blast Burn, but still, it is worth the investment if you have a good IV1, because Charizard is good even outside of like this meta. It's good in other metas, even in the open Ultra League, it's pretty solid. And we have Mantine, so you kind of have to... Mantine needs XLs, I'm pretty sure. I never built one for the Ultra League, but I think it does. It did receive that Wing Attack buff a couple seasons ago. And, you know, with that Bubble Beam, you debuff your opponent, looking really good. The Ice Beam, of course, is going to be strong against the flying types. Bubble Beam is a great move. It's a great bait move, as we all know. So, Abomasnow, you know, another really interesting Pokemon. It is an ice type, so going to be doing well against those flyers, right? Obviously, it's a grass type, so it's going to be doing well against water. So it has some really good coverage. I think Abomasnow is a Pokemon we might see a good amount in this meta. Then we have Universe Stunfisk, which does have to be fully XL'd, and you do want it best buddied as well, if I'm not mistaken. I'm working on it myself. I'm working on it. In fact, I actually have to do some trades so I could get some more XL candy for it. But I'm close. I'm close. But no, I think it's a pretty strong Pokemon. It's pretty tanky in the Ultra League, like the Galarian version. So yeah, really strong. Keep it away from the ice types, but other than that, it's looking pretty good. But even if you go up against ice types, I mean, you do have, well, no, you have Mud Bomb. You have, so it's tough, but against ice. But other than that, it's not like there's a whole lot of ice types, right? So you might not really see it. So if you don't, you're looking really strong. Okay, so that's going to be the SA and B tier for you in the Summer Cup Ultra League Edition. Moving on to other options, we do have Blaziken. Blaziken is really frail, but it's really powerful. With that counter attack, it has a Sky High attack, low defense, as I said, but Sky High attack. Pelipper has to be fully XL, best buddied, but it could do okay. The only thing is, I feel like if there was not a lot of electric types that are really good in this meta, I feel like it would be higher up. But because you got the Zapdos, the Stunfisk, the Galvantula, probably it's going to struggle if it goes up against that, as well as like the Zekrom too, so you do have to watch out for that. But no, it's a pretty good Pokemon. I like Pelipper. I actually have one, so I might try it out in this meta. Then we have Crustle. Crustle's going to love those flying types, right? Heracross is another fighting option if you want another counter user or something like that. Credilli did receive the Rock Slide update this season, looking pretty good, especially if it goes up against the flying types or electric types, right? Rock Slide, of course. Grass Knot for the water types. So Credilli maybe could have gotten a boost. Maybe could have put it in the B rank or A rank. Probably could have, to be honest. So, you know, maybe, but still, I mean, it's a really strong Pokemon. I think it's going to do really well. Lantern is an interesting pick. Of course, Lantern is another electric type you could use, doing well against the Flyers, Mantine, Pidgeot. Zapdos, it's okay. It's doing neutral damage, right? It has to watch out for Virizion, things like that, grass types, but no, I mean, pretty strong Pokemon. Then we have Trevenant. So Trevenant did receive the nerf Seed Bomb. It does more damage, but it takes one extra Shadow Claw to get to. I don't think we'll see many Trevenant. I think people will opt for other grass types like Virizion or Credilli. And then Wolverine, of course, Wolverine did receive that Icicle Spear buff this season. It still takes a little bit longer to get to compared to before it was nerfed, but still really strong Pokemon. And then we have Alolan Golem. We have Venusaur. Venusaur is another great grass type. Luxray as an electric type, and then Jellicent. So looking really good. And let's go ahead and move on to the solid team options. So for the first team, I have Tentacruel in the lead with Pidgeot and Virizion. So keep Pidgeot in the back to forever debuff your opponent with Feather Dance. I like it. Love that. I think Virizion is an okay safe swap. It just has to, I mean, it kind of has to watch out. But with that Stone Edge move, even if a Flyer comes in, at least you have Stone Edge to hit it. And then the next team is going to be Galvantula with Swampert and Miltank. Miltank is yet another great safe swap. I think there are some fighting type users, but I still think it's a great safe swap with that Body Slam spam. The third team going to be Universe Stunfisk. You could replace it with like Galvantula if you don't have the XLs for the Stunfisk, with Buzzwole and Dubwool, so kind of like a couple fighting type in the back. I know Dubwool is not a fighting type, but you get the point. Double Kick. Yeah, looking pretty good. The backline's not going to like flying. I guess Dubwool is fine against flying, but like then you have the Stunfisk in the lead. Next up, we have Virizion Double Electric. So Double Electric, looking good this meta. I think this is pretty good. Swampert will do well, I guess, against the backline, or okay against it, especially kind of okay against Galvantula, Togedemaru, but then you have Virizion in the lead. Next up, we have Pidgeot with Zekrom. Let's go. Zekrom going to be a great safe swap in this meta because Dragon Breath not going to be resisted by many Pokemon. We really don't have fairy types that I could tell in this meta. And then the final team, Dubwool in the lead with Tentacruel and Zapdos. So you could replace Zapdos for another electric type like Galvantula if you want to. But overall, I think these teams look pretty solid to start things off. Let me know what team you plan on using, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a good day. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.